President Salva Kiir arrived in Vatican City, the Holy See, at the invitation of His Holiness Father Pope Francis for talks on bilateral relations between South Sudan and Vatican. Upon arrival at Apostolic Palace in Vatican City, President Salva Kiir was accorded warm ceremonial welcome into the Holy See. President Salva Kiir, who is in the Holy See for the first time, held one-on-one private talks and prayers with His Holiness Father Pope Francis, which lasted for about 30 minutes. After the private meeting and prayers, President Salva Kiir introduced his accompanying delegation to the Holy Father, Pope Francis, which include Minister in the Office of the President Mayik Ayideng, Minister of the Environment Josephine Napon, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management Hussein Marnyot, and Director General of External Security General Thomas Dope, and the rest of his accompanying delegation. Minister in the Office of the President Mayik Ayideng said President Salva Kiir briefed His Holiness Father Pope Francis on the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement and urged him to continue praying for lasting and sustainable peace to prevail in the Republic of South Sudan. Minister Mayik Ayideng said President Salva Kiir extended an official invitation for Pope Francis to visit and hold peace prayers in the Republic of South Sudan.
The President walked the Holy Father through the peace agreement that was signed in October 2018. The revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan. The President asked the Holy Father to pray for the people and the government of South Sudan and to give them strength and to help the parties implement the peace agreement. And also he asked him to pray for the parties to agreement. So the Holy Father prayed with the President and listened keenly to the explanation and the details.
At the same time, President Salva Kiir met with the Vatican Secretary of State, Cardinal Parolino Pietro, to discuss strengthening bilateral relations between South Sudan and Vatican. Vatican contribution and the visit of His Holiness Father Pope Francis to South Sudan was discussed as well.
The President had a very, very long meeting with the Secretary of State here at the Vatican. The President walked him through the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the South Sudan.
President Salva Kiir, who is in Vatican City known as the Holy See, for the first time comes on the invitation of His Holiness Father Pope Francis to strengthen bilateral relations between South Sudan and Vatican. The holy visitor of President Salva Kiir to Vatican, the Holy See, is described as a milestone on the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement by strengthening the relations between South Sudan and Vatican. This is also the first time for President Salva Kiir to officially visit Vatican. For SSBC, Jomarang.